very close. We have the first 14 days of the fast of the Hanukkah, the following week of the Theotokos. Prepare yourselves. Again, if you've never fasted, this is the shortest fast of the year. We have 4 major fasts, and this is the shortest 14 days. So prepare yourself. That's from now. If you've never fasted before, see how good and rewarding it is to yourselves, how you apply that discipline, and then again understand it's a form of prayer. It is prayer actually when you fast, and it keeps your mind in a prayerful state, in a greater state before the feast or the fast of the Theotokos. So keep that in mind. I will remind you next Sunday as well. Again, we have some space for the icons in the back. If anybody sees any icon that's not on the walls and you wish to make a donation, that will be fine. Among the saints, we have here in the church itself. So if you have someone you wish to commemorate, or someone you love, or in memory of, whatever it might be, you might wish to donate to the church for that particular piece. So today we celebrate again. Almost every day is the saints. It is always the saints, but we have an Old Testament saint that we celebrate today. Elias, Elijah, either way, and he's a great saint in the church. He's a prophet. He's about the 7th century before Christ came into the world, and he is very well recognized in the Orthodox Church. And in the Roman Church as well, very much so. As a matter of fact, the Roman Church we have one in town, the Mount Carmel Church, which is a commemoration of Saint Elias. I'm not sure anybody knows that, but that's where the name comes from, Elias. And Elias is from the Old Testament, of which the question is, and it's been brought up many times, do we still follow the Old Testament? Is it relevant to us? And it is absolutely relevant. Absolutely so. The Old Testament, again, is what it really does is a foretelling of Christ coming into the world, our Lord coming into the world. And it was the Hebrews, again, who, because of the Hebrews, and were writing, that was the Old Testament, that they were honored by God to keep that testament because they were the only ones, sometimes here and there were others, but that would believe only in one God. The faith of the Hebrews was from the beginning, one God. And they fell throughout the history. You read the Old Testament, you see they fell. They began to fall away. They began to follow other gods and all the other things, of which I would say the same for us. Here we are. We have, as Christians in this world, one God, but we fall away with many gods. We worship so many gods. What are those gods? The most of the gods are money. Money. We make so much money, and especially in America, of which we think we're independent. We don't need God anymore. I am because I'm so smart. I invested. I did this and I did that. Why do I need God? What a disaster. What a disaster to the soul when we go to other gods. Most especially for us where we're baptized, and we deny our baptism. We deny our baptism by doing something that is not of God. We have to remember that He's our Creator. He is the one who made us. There's no one else. We either have to believe that, or we say, well, I deny Him. And many people do deny Him. And God says, if you deny me, you won't be. I won't invite you into my kingdom. What good is it coming into my kingdom if you don't believe who I am and you want something else for yourself? So you can leave my kingdom. You can't be here. And that place is called, we all know, hell. That's what it's called. So here we have in the Old Testament, defending the faith, the prophets, the kings that were coming in, and they were believing other gods. I mean, gods like, the God of the sun, the God of the water, the God of who knows what. Of riches, maybe. They probably had gods of riches. But anyway, in the day of the prophet Elias, was a great prophet, and we venerate him to the highest degree. We have his icon on the wall. We have the Old Testament. We have David, and we have Joseph of the Old Testament. They are of the church. They are still of the church, and they were before Christ coming into the world. So the big thing with Elias, again, many things. He's done many things. He's again caused a three-year fast, no rain. He had caused this no rain thing to happen, and the king was Ahab. That was his name, who believed in many gods. He believed in other than the true God who the Old Testament was proclaiming. Yahweh, from them, it was Yahweh. And he would deny Yahweh. And there were prophets. He had many prophets. It says there were 360 prophets that he had in his kingdom. And God told the prophet Elias to go and to the king and tell him to bring all his prophets so he could prove who the true God is. And he told him, bring all your prophets. We're going to go up a mountain. You build an altar and put all the wood and all the stuff that you have to kindle the fire. And then I want you to call on your God and have him kindle the fire on the altar. And they went up, the king went up, they all went up, the prophets as well, to the mountain, Mount Carmel. And they were praying, they were praying to Baal, God. And of course, nothing happened. Isaiah began to mock them. Where is your God? Who is your God? What is this? Why do you go to this falsehood? And he tells them the altar that they built for him. Again, he said, put all the wood, put all the things that you were good to cut to kindle. And he says, and throw water on it. He had them go about 7 times in buckets of water on the altar, throw it on the altar. And he prayed to God, and God came down in a form of lightning, a fire, and the altar was lit. And everybody, again, marveled at it. Not everybody, even when they see with their own eyes. Not everybody. Like us, God appears to us so many times, and yet our eyes are closed. If we have eyes to see, open your eyes. Spiritual eyes, and see God. All that we have. All the graces that he gives us. All the love that he bestows upon us. And for each other as well. That comes from God, all to the glory of God. And Elijah, again, proved from that perspective that God is in heaven and is alive. As a matter of fact, when you read the Gospel, it's in the book of Kings. If you read the Gospel, you will see that again, Ahab was angry. His wife, actually, Jezebel, was more angry, and she wanted to kill Elias. And he had to flee. He went into the desert, and he stayed there. And he had a 40-day fast. He didn't eat or drink water or eat anything for 40 days. Impossible to us, but that's what he did. Christ did it as well. By grace, given by God. And here we had this great prophet, Elias, that went into the desert, and again, he was graced by the Lord. And it showed his humanity too, because he was afraid. He was going to be killed, and he was afraid, showing that his humanity. Yes, he felt fear, and he went into the desert where God had sent him to be for 40 days. So Prophet Elias, a great saint of the church. And Prophet Elias, again, is the one at the transfiguration of our Lord, appeared with Jesus on the mount. And you had the prophets, James and Peter, James and John, who went at the transfiguration. And what does it say? And he said they saw Jesus in his great light. And who was with him? Elijah and Moses. And they recognized him right away. This is Elijah, and this is Moses. What can we do? What can we do to honor them? And again, to say that how close we are, how thin the line it is between us and the kingdom of heaven. How close we really are. And Elijah was there, and God graced Elijah with no human death. He was when he was ready to leave this world, it doesn't say, and he died, just like the genealogy say, and he died. No, it says that a chariot came and lifted him up into heaven. And he went up to heaven bodily. And he had a cloak with him. The cloak, he let the cloak go and went to his disciple Elisha, and he continued the prophecy of Elijah. So again, the tradition of the church and the Old Testament say that when the Christ comes into the world, Elijah will be there as the second coming of John the Baptist. Just as John the Baptist came into the world before Christ's coming to call our Lord, in the second coming of our Lord, Elijah will be there warning the world of the Christ that has come into it and to come back to the Lord, those who have fled from him. So we celebrate a great day today of Prophet Elias, either way we say it. So in the Old Testament again, Enoch is another one in the book of genealogies. He's another one that did not die as a human death yet, but he was taken into heaven as well. So when Christ comes into the world again, for the world to be over with, humanity, the end of humanity, and that will be Elijah and Enoch will come into the world as prophets proclaiming the Lord. So we ask the prophet to come and bless us this day. And may he bless you all.